Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special TV movie that I actually grew up with back in the day, in the 90s. Chuck Jones, Peter and the Wolf. That's right. For those who don't know, because this version is probably one of the lesser-known versions, despite it being attached to one of the best, well-regarded names in animation. It was a TV film made in 1995, starring Lloyd Bridges, Christy Alley, and a kid. I forgot his. I think it's Roy Mallinger. That's his name.
Ross Mallinger.
Ross. Thank you, Dips. Basically, it was a TV special that was made, in a similar way that Chuck Jones adapted the Jungle Book in his animation special. This was a similar kind of thing. He didn't animate the animation sequences, but he did design the characters, and he was the producer too. It's a nice little TV movie. It's nothing amazing, but I think it's a rather pretty good version of the Peter and Wolf story. For those who don't know, usually a Peter and Wolf story starts with an introduction of how the Peter and the Wolf is special and everything, but this one doesn't. So I'll just do it for this intro. For those who haven't heard of Peter and Wolf, like Libs here. Peter and the Wolf was originally a child story created by Sergej Prokofiev, a Russian composer who wanted to create, how should I put this? Basically, it was an idea that he had in order to try to teach children music. So how did he do that? He would create a children's story where each character was represented by an instrument of the orchestra. To give you an idea, Peter, the main character, is represented by a string quartet. The duck is represented by an oboe. The cat is represented by a flute. In fact,
the cat's actually a clarinet.
That's right. The bird, the flute, the clarinet. Not a musician. I might get something wrong here and there. Anyway, basically each character is represented by a specific orchestra, and most versions, except for maybe this one, always start into explaining that, so that kids, when they watch the story or hear the story, depending on which version they're listening or watching, they immediately associate the instrument to the character, and they learn the instruments from there. So it was a great little idea, and became one of the greatest children's stories of all time. It's iconic, and it's still played in theaters today. It's
not only theaters, but also in elementary schools. Heck, my own, actually. That's how I figured out about this.
Yep.
Of course, used to teach us music all the same.
Basically, what we're dealing here... Okay, this is one of the most beloved children's stories of all time. Fortunately, we have Chuck Jones in charge of it, so we're in good hands. So, everybody ready here? Basically, everybody, this is on DVD, and as far as I can tell, it's not on Blu-ray. I searched and I couldn't find it. Just pause your... I don't know if it's on Netflix or anything, but just get your copy and start it and pause right before the BMG logo starts up. You should be seeing a black screen. You should be in sync with us. Everybody ready then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, click. Anyway, okay, so Jova learned about it in elementary school. What about you, Theo? When did you first get familiar with the story?
Obviously, I grew up with the Disney version, but in middle school, I knew about an audiobook about it, and I checked it just to see where the effects.
Map. This was back when map paintings were still a thing. Anyway.
Oh my God! They melted the Paramount logo.
All right. This is a combination of live action with animation. So,
another Chuck Jones staple, to an extent, mind you.
Yeah. The hills are alive with the... Oh, wait, never mind.
It looks like a commercial for Maine or something.
This is Chuck Jones, not Robert Wise.
Come visit Maine.
Sergej Prokofiev, one of the greatest classical composers of all time.
I actually, for Jova, you may know better about music, so do you remember in what time period Prokofiev lived?
So in the 1930s, I think. Let me check.
Because I'm actually surprised with all the shits Russia have been through in the 20th century. So many artists could survive and produce there.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, Prokofiev...
Let me quickly check. Was
definitely 1930s here.
He was born in 1891, and he lived up until 1953. So, and Peter and the Wolf was invented in the 1930s. That one I know.
Basically, he was a big-time musician in the 1930s and 40s.
So this is Grandpa, played by Lloyd Bridges.
Okay, I'll be honest. The only people,
He's having his own.
the only cast members I've heard of here are Christy Alley and Ross Mellinger.
Well, the thing is, Lord Bridges passed away about 3 years after this special was made. So yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, Dwebs, in case you're probably wondering right now from the last name, yes, he is the father of Jeff Bridges.
Hell, even in Christy Alley's case, I only know her from
Well,
Star Trek 2.
the thing is, Christy Alley was popular in the 80s and 90s, and that was about it. After that, she pretty much, her career kind of ended.
Was it because of the whole Scientology thing?
Probably, yeah. So yeah, basically they're trying. They're clearly going for.
His career's still alive as Tom Cruise.
So yeah, they're clearly going for an old school fairy tale feel with this house.
Yeah.
And the theme we're listening to right now is Peter's theme, played by a string quartet.
Animation directed by Gene Flynn.
The legendary Chuck Jones.
Yeah. Well, basically, audience. If it's a guy who's most famous for stuff in like the 30s or anything before the 70s, I won't really know their name. I'll just know their product. You know, I don't think I've watched many films from before the 70s. That hat doesn't fit you.
I know, but don't worry, they're going somewhere with the hat thing.
Oh, it's always something behind that.
Directed by George Docherty. Is that...
Christy Alley, yes, and Ross Mellinger. By the way, since I recently bought the DVD, I actually saw them making a featurette. They actually built this entire set from the ground up, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I have not seen this version of Peter and the Wolf, but I'm...
that's not surprising. Again, this is one of the lesser-known versions.
I know. I was just about to say, go on first, Wibbs.
I can imagine them being pressed for this set because, a TV film budget isn't all that big.
Mm-hmm.
Usually.
Those were the old days, but yeah. Basically, this is the first time I've seen this version, so I'm guessing that they're probably going to pull something a bit unique with it, because usually the stories automatically just start with the whole, Peter is Graham.
Yeah, in here they're basically they're incorporating a live action story. That, don't worry, it does tie into the actual Peter and the Wolf story. It's just not clear yet.
Oh, I have no qualms with that. I mean, I've seen plenty of specials that do this sort of thing.
Thing is,
and with it being Chuck Jones, I have good faith.
The thing is, Webbs, the Peter and the Wolf story is a very short story, and if you would put only that part in, it would be like 12 minutes. So they had to...
No, I understand wanting to add to it because, there's, because,
I don't know, let's probably pay attention a bit.
It could be too short to do it otherwise.
Did she just say something?
Yes. Oh no, this is his first time meeting his grandfather.
Oh, okay.
And an audience, don't worry. I don't know any good Scientology jokes, so you won't be hearing any.
Eh?
Christian's a Scientologist, and I'll leave it at that.
This one.
There.
Yeah.
Of course. Hey, look, Joe, but Peter's learning how to play the violin. Gee, who would have thought? Basically, but Peter's represented by the string quartet, so obviously it's the violin.
So, does his grandfather play the bassoon?
Sadly, no. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, this guy for some reason gives me a Bob Barker vibe with his appearance.
Who?
The guy who did the American version of Price is Right for many years. We're gonna wreck this movie. I mean, we're gonna wreck stuff. So TJ Detweiler has a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Ross Malinger voiced TJ in Recess.
Which reminds me, like, I mean, this is 1995, so by the time Recess started in 2000...
1997.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right, 97. Bleh, never mind.
But you just said that she's barely keeping up her sanity.
What do you mean? What Grandpa
I know what
means?
he means, Pedro. I know what he means. Joke.
So yeah, Grandpa's very old-fashioned, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yes, and killing beasts.
Hold on.
Well, that's one way I can relate. Television nowadays might as well be dead when we have the internet. I'll just wait for you to see the 2000s when they come in, lady.
Or maybe the 2010s.
Be
depending
thankful
where you-
your kid is really into sports.
Whatever you do, lady, steer clear of Sarah Palin.
I do appreciate that.
By the way, they clearly stated it is America, but where it's supposed to be? Oregon?
I don't know.
Wait.
Oregon.
Hold on. I thought the thought was like, well, foreign, and like, well, they were coming to visit him because he mentioned something about sending his kids to America or something.
No, I'm pretty no, to New York specifically. Basically, the mother and the kid live in New York. It's just that, and the father, I guess, lives in the mountains. I don't know. They
Let me
didn't,
see if
they
I
didn't
can
give
look
us
up-
the name for the specific region. Anyway, one thing that I do like, rather, is that aside from building a set, there you go, there's an orchestra playing the original music that was made for the special.
Oh crap! It's turned into a nature documentary.
Aww.
Well, actually, the animals are a big part of Peter and the Wolf, so...
Did we switch videos and my on National Geographic?
It's stock footage of National Geographic stuff, I guess.
Yeah. I'm half expecting David Attenborough to come on and start narrating.
Okay.
Let's just see, Teo. Imagination.
No.
Imagination.
Already seen this stuff in Neverending Story. Moving on.
Am I the only one here that hasn't seen that movie?
Apparently.
Yeah, another thing you should know about my audience. Odds are there's a movie that everyone else in our group has seen except me.
Ironic, because he's supposed to be the film buff of the group.
Yeah, Dweebs, considering everything you know and don't you know about movie star, like you started living like what, 3 years ago or something.
There's trillions of movies. It's hard for me to keep up with. I can't keep up with them a lot. Hell, there's times where I forget what films I want to see in the cinema this year because there's so many of them.
All right, so basically, Christy's asking Lloyd to tell a special story that she used to tell her.
Well, maybe if you stopped interrupting him.
Yes, that's the joke.
He just said that to us, actually.
Ugh.
Oh.
It's been years, my
Visit
daughter, but I've been
Wyoming
grooming
today.
you for it.
Oh no, not Pan again.
Oh, not yet, Divs.
So yeah,
And
here's
now,
our main character.
here we go.
Here's our main character, Peter. Again, represented by the string quartet.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought it was going to fly out the window and go, "Here we go!" Butterflies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about his face kind of bugs me.
What a contrast! The one thing I remember the most is that the original story was set in straight full snow Russia.
Yeah.
Well, was it? It was created by a Russian originally, so.
Alright, so here's the bird. He's represented by the flute.
Peter couldn't understand the bird, but they were still friends. Although there were times where trying to talk could get a bit off.
But don't you see
I have
it?
to say, for Chuck Jones' animation standard, this looks fluid than his usual stick.
I guess here he had a bit more of a budget because
Well,
the old
Theo,
Looney
here's
Tunes
the
stuff.
The animation in the Looney Tunes shorts was, of course, brilliant. But well, if you're talking about his Tom and Jerry stuff and
No. I mean, in general, not necessarily in a negative way. I just mean in terms of what I'm seeing.
Ah, okay.
I think I can see where he's going for. I mean, his Looney Tunes stuff was smooth, but there were those flash bits where you could definitely tell there was a separation in animation, whereas this feels completely fluid.
Well, they're working on just one TV movie, not a bunch of episodes at one time.
That too.
I guess it's all about that movement talk that Doug was talking about again in the Smurfs review.
Yoink.
They also did a really good job in sticking up. Remember, Dwebs, this is music that is like 50 years old by now, and they're doing a great job sticking up the animation to the music.
Okay.
Okay, did this come out before or after the Disney adaptation?
Oh, way after, Joe. But the original,
Yeah, the Disney adaptation is included in Make My Music.
the original Disney version was made in the 40s or 50s. I forget.
This
Yeah,
was
in the
this was
40s.
1995, wasn't it?
And look, and yeah, that's clearly a Chuck Jones duck. Clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, the duck is represented by the oboe.
And
And by the way, here's an interesting thing. Kirstie Alley herself is also plays the duck and the cat.
all right.
She's actually really good. She's actually surprisingly really good at doing duck noises. Like in the behind the scenes stuff that I have on my DVD, you can actually see her doing those noises, and you can tell she's having a lot of fun doing it. Basically, this is the first day of spring, so obviously it's the animals can now finally stretch their legs.
That's also why the dog looks like it's stoned.
All right. Seems like everything is going well. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Oh, that's right. The duck doesn't like when people bother him.
Yep. Uh-oh. Funny, the duck doesn't sound like Kirstie Alley.
Well, she is doing an animal noise.
And it's just sometimes when you do animal noises, I hear a little
Yeah.
tiny bit of the actual human doing the voice.
Don't even try to track down Frank Welker when he's doing an animal
Oh
voice.
no,
He
Frank
covers
Welker.
his tracks
Frank
amazingly.
Welker is the master of that. So yeah, here's the cat played by the clarinet, or rather, represented by the clarinet and played by Kirstie Alley. Basically, the way that this musically works is that every time there's more than one character on screen, the two instruments are played at the same time. So the music is always reflecting what's going on screen.
Okay.
Ow.
Even though the bird had long escaped at that point.
How do I even see anything in this grass?
Oh, there we go. That's clearly a stock cat noise, not.
Wait, have you heard of what happens to cats who get curious?
Shit happens, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
Good job. That was a very well thought of Chuck to have the cat, sprinkle his legs during that part of the music. Really fits.
Oh.
So here's the grandfather played by Lloyd Bridges, and he's represented by the bassoon.
First going to be represented by timpani drums, boom, boom, boom.
That's the hunters
That's
do
a
it.
different set of characters.
That's the hunters.
Oh.
Yep.
We should really forbid children from going into this forest.
Yeah.
Well, Jova, that's because again, the story was supposed to be set in Russia. I guess that's how they taught kids how to grow up.
Remember, kids, if you go play in the woods, you'll be eaten by a wolf.
Either you're smart or you die.
Yeah.
My wide-angle close-up pencil.
This is serious business.
But you're afraid of kindergartners. What hope do you have of being afraid of not being afraid of water? Sorry, wrong series.
But you see, if the string quartet says it, so it's so.
Ow.
You're grounded.
You what?
What, mate?
Before I fire you? Sure, that's a weird way of showing it, though.
Abusive
Strict.
parents. So.
Oh. Either that or he's just being incredibly strict on the boy.
Yeah. Which, to be fair to him, as the title implies, he has reasons to be strict.
And also remember, aside from the physical setting, the time setting of the countryside life, especially for European and Asians in these kind of countrysides, where I've had these pretty common scenarios. So parents were really in apprehensive against their children roaming around like idiots.
So
Not to
yeah,
mention the fact that this is his grandfather. Do we even know what happened to his parents? They could have been easily killed just as well by doing foolish stuff.
yeah. So yeah, this is the wolf, represented by three French horns.
Dun 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 dun.
Of course, one of the most the best thing you can, the immediately amazing thing about Peter and the Wolf, of course, will be the music. Prokofiev's music was freaking genius. It's catchy, it's memorable, it's powerful when it needs to be.
And yet simple at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dodge the bullets.
Oh.
Well, let's see if the duck has any more is the same luck.
Yeah, let's see.
This is the spiritual successor to Tom and Jerry.
Except in
Yeah.
here, the wolf actually eats the duck.
Yeah.
Yep, that's usually the thing. The wolf always at some point eats the duck.
Actually, there have been some versions that have him not eat the duck, depending on whether or not they want to make it more child-friendly. Because some people, but
I'm pretty sure that, even in the more child-friendly ones, he still at some point eats him, and the duck survives
the Disney version made him eat the duck, but she survives somehow. Don't ask why.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, the duck survives here too. It's just that. The thing is, you know how it is. They don't want to scar kids for death.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, honestly, it's not even really bad. Well, okay, it could be somewhat bad, but yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah, the duck usually gets eaten, and in most cases dies.
But you just said
That's how life works, kiddo. Grandpa is the best troll ever.
Well, to be fair, usually at that point, that point is considered the climax during the part where the duck gets eaten. So your mileage may vary, kiddo.
There you go. We swallow them whole, so the duck's still alive in there. Don't ask about digestion. Apparently, digestion doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
Cartoon
digestion,
logic work that way.
in his credit, digestion can take a while, so with any luck, the duck hasn't reached that point yet.
So the bird gave him a telling off.
Yeah.
Waiting for that digestion to occur.
Well, remember, Dwebs.
Remember, Dweebs, it usually takes 8 hours.
Yeah, there's literally one version where the duck goes on to live in the wolf's belly for the rest of his life.
So it's like what would happen if Han Solo fell into the Sarlacc pit and
Yeah.
returned the Jedi.
In the original story written by Prokofiev, the duck dies and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bird, I
Ow.
don't think you should get that close to the
Well, at this moment, Dwebs, the cat is the lesser evil.
Yeah.
get close to the wolf.
have I got an axe?
Don't worry.
Oh.
Don't worry. The string quartet is just give him an idea.
Well, hey, hang on. If he's TJ and he's got a plan, they should be playing that music from Recess. Da 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 da.
Recess didn't exist yet. Oh.
It would do. Tactical
Another thing that's a bit-
espionage action.
Yes.
Another thing that's a bit different is like when most versions, usually it's Peter venturing into the woods to go chase the wolf, and
Yeah.
then each of the animals eventually joining him one way
Yeah.
or another. And then the whole climax where the duck gets eaten occurs.
Yeah.
I smell blood.
You, sure, why not?
Sure, like 20% of a plan. Oh,
Basically, he'll be the distraction.
Yeah, that's careful. No, I've been defeated by a bird.
Wah!
Yes, he wants the tiny, fast agile prey over the 3 meals in the top of the tree. Although, admittedly, the bird did agitate him.
Hold still already.
Yep. He just can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah, you give this points.
fucking dexterity builds.
Yes, that's right, Peter. Endanger the poor cat's wife. Look, poor cat's wife.
You bear, hang yourself with this.
If all else fails.
Well, it's better than being eaten.
Ah. Oh.
All right. There we go.
Alright.
And the wolf didn't wake up.
2/3 of the plan executed. All right, now it's Peter's turn.
All right. Pull.
Okay.
No, no. I'm gonna be defeated by a rope.
My only weakness.
Ha!
Ow. Wow, a piece of fiction that actually show that pulling a rope gives friction burns to hands.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's like tug of war.
Like, I'm so sick of all these movies and other stuff that shows characters going around with ropes and not having this light burn on their hands. Roll credits.
That's
Ding.
all right. That's still not enough weight, though.
Hey, this is from a guy who did Hanna-Barbera stuff. Get a bunch of tons.
But we would need the time at the other end, and we don't
Sure.
quite have the time for that.
All right.
Jeez, you give up quickly, don't you, kid?
Oop.
All right, so these are the hunters, represented by the timpani and bass drums.
Again, slight change. Usually they're introduced before the final climax.
Yeah.
For reasons. Sherlock Holmes?
I don't see.
Oh, wait, no. That's just Chuck Jones's usual way of drawing hunters.
I was gonna say, Joe,
It's
I don't.
there are multiple bearded Elmer Fudd clones.
I don't see
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. or Benedict Cumberbatch here, Jova. So,
Plenty of older versions. And, the classic look with the hat.
And here's the drums there.
Which represent the guns more so.
Yeah.
so I half called it them.
Yep.
Eh?
I suppose.
I remember Dwebs asked if there was a character represented by the drums, so...
Of course, yeah.
Hey, get a movie over here, you know.
Oh, look, I love this one right here. Hey, look! A wolf! Let's kill it!
Wow, they're almost as bloodthirsty as Tintin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's duck season, wolf season, duck season, wolf season.
Not sure if you should shoot the duck or the...
Peter, are you high or something?
Duck season, fire.
Oh yeah, this part, even as a kid I never understood this part. This is the big lipped alligator moment of this special. For some reason they have the duck dance. I never got this. What the hell is this?
And for some reason, dancing to the flute music, even though that's the bird's theme.
Well, it's more than just the flute though.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like, well, the duck is mainly, represented by the oboe,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem to be playing as much as the other instruments for that scene.
The wolf doesn't approve.
0 of 10.
Drop it.
What?
The
Peter,
wolf may
again,
be-
are you fucking high?
The wolf may be safe, but not any of the guests or the other animals.
I guess they're gonna put the wolf in a cage, I don't know.
As long as they give him the right
Why the
habitat,
fuck
he'll
is
be
Peter
fine.
so more higher than these supposed adults?
So yeah, now he's basically giving instructions to the hunters to build a cage for the to transport the wolf in.
Okay.
So let's go into the woods and get some wood, I guess. Okay. And now here's some Asterix animated shit right here.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess that works.
That one of them.
Too bad.
Just trapped himself.
Too bad, the wolf disapproves.
And of course, he blows it down.
Free Little Pigs reference.
Okay. Try a metal cage.
Although I have to give them a
Actually, this, believe it or not, the wolf just doesn't approve of the actual shape of the cage. Now this one he likes better. I guess that's a quick way to cut the...
Talking about overkill. Oh. Well, shit.
But I love that. They always say that at the end of each tale. Like the grandpa pretty much complaining, yeah, what if the wolf hadn't been caught?
Yeah. This one.
Oh. No.
Oh yeah, that's right. The story always ends with a parade. with the entire orchestra playing.
Parade.
Mm-hmm.
When the set. Oh, sorry.
No.
I love the cat's walking cycle. Yeah,
And then the hunters just turned traitor on them and shot them all.
No. Be glad you're still fucking alive.
I hate everything.
oh, that's right. The birds' eggs have hatched. So seven more little flutes.
Okay. And thus they had a nice little fly around the sky.
Oh, that's right. Where is the duck?
Yeah, I know, right?
My life sucks.
Don't you see? I'm a duck in a Chuck Jones cartoon. I'm kind of doomed to fail. Yeah.
To be fair, being a duck in a Chuck Jones cartoon either means you'll fail, be second best, or if the guy who usually usurps you isn't there, you may actually make it out of there.
I guess.
Heavily depends.
There you go.
Although, Mom, it sounds familiar to the story I heard of in elementary school called Peter and the Wolf.
That was a different story.
So, yes, but that didn't happen, did it?
Yep.
How come you sounded like me and...
Well, it's a at least until a couple of decades ago, it was a common thing naming your kids like your grandparents or something.
Still is a bit.
Yeah,
well, my second name...
Generations
my
repeated after a while.
Well, my second name is taken from my grandfather, so yeah.
I mean, I don't say it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that nowadays it's not used as it was before.
So there you go.
Really? I hear a lot of people who are named after their grandfolks.
No, I just say it's being dropped even by little by little, but it's being dropped.
I wonder if any famous reviewers have done this movie.
Not that I know of. I've never seen the only footage of this movie I've seen on YouTube, aside from my upload, is one of the animators who actually posted some of the scenes he actually animated.
Okay.
But aside from that, I haven't seen it anything. Again, this special is not really known nowadays.
Got a lot of awards though back in the day.
Yeah, it did. It got it with an Emmy and everything.
But didn't I tell you that you were going fine earlier?
Reassurance? How high were you when you dealt with that wolf? Oh, see, yeah. Russia, Germany.
Probably Russia. I don't know.
Mountain area.
In Soviet Russia.
It looks a lot like that scene from
1995?
Sound of Music. So...
No, Dad, I will not answer Stalin's call.
Well, remember, Tia, by this point, the Soviets were gone for like 4 years.
I hope so.
They were disbanded in 1991. Okay. And now he's wearing that outfit that his father wore.
Grandfather, you mean?
Oh, grandfather. Christ, I suck at telling family relations.
So there you go, Dwebs. Russian outfit TJ.
I never thought I'd see this Recess episode.
Really? I mean, considering what Reese's does here and there, I thought you'd at least be expecting something that out there.
Yeah, I mean, there is a Recess episode where they stop a guy from selling a decapitated president's head for money.
Yeah.
Can I close the mirror now?
Just gaze a bit more into its magical reflection, Peter.
But if I stare into it any longer, it might suck me in.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
I'm joking in this thing.
What's that? Is that an orchestra here outside? Nah. Probably my imagination.
Yes.
Okay. No, don't open the window.
Oh, come now, kid. It's probably a nice, bright, magical world out there that's now animated all of a sudden. Oh boy, you got into Grandpa's secret stash.
Oh no! I told you shouldn't have looked into the mirror too long. Now you're in this world.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm stuck here.
You see, Peter, now you have to go through everything your grandfather went to, through the trials or whatever to get back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. What world did I end up in?
By the way, I love the way it ends. Hold on. I love the final shot.
Whoa, this green screen is amazing.
The end.
The end. Alright, so yeah, that was Jack Jones' Peter and the Wolf. I still really like this special. Yeah, it's no masterpiece, but I think it's a nice little 48-minute special that does a good job in telling the story well, and does it with its own unique style. The animation is pretty, the music is of course fantastic. Even the original music that was done, I think, still fits really well with the already existing music. So yeah, it's a fun special, I think. Go ahead, Tay, what do you think?
It's fine. I mean, it's interesting to see different versions of the same tale, and this one was fine.
Alright. How about you, Joe? Since you're the musician here, what do you think?
Pretty good special. I mean, okay, it's not quite my favorite adaptation of Peter and the Wolf, but definitely, well, for one of my favorites. I mean, I know the competition's not the best, but hey, it's a pretty nice one. Ending's a bit abrupt, but still a great little adaptation.
Alright. How about you, Jules? What do you think?
It's fun. I mean, I'm not entirely, like I said, I'm not familiar with this story in general, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, this was made back when stories were a lot simpler, so of course the story is not going to be some kind of Pixar level kind of stuff. But then again, it doesn't really need to be. It's meant the primary purpose of this is for kids to watch and to get familiar with musical instruments.
You mentioned Pixar. The composer of this this special, he's mostly an orchestrator, and he has done some orchestrating work for stuff like Inside Out.
Oh, really? Nice. All right, so yeah, that was Peter and the Wolf, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. So we'll leave you with Prokofiev's music for the rest of the credits. See ya.
All right.
See ya then.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.